Hi there, this is Tim Bendel from Esk Spatial, and this is a run through of the digital sketch mapping tool, how to get it installed and how to use it. So the digital sketch mapping tool is a plugin for QGIS version 3. The best way of knowing whether you have compatibility is to go to Help About within QGIS and have a look to see whether the Qt version starts with a 5 and the QGIS version starts with a 3. If you're in a newer or older version, then it's likely that the plugin won't work or won't be visible to you on the plugin options. To install the plugin, you go to the Plugins menu in QGIS, you hit Manage Plugins, and then you're going to need to add a new plugin location because we host it on our server. So you need to add the plugin repository for Esk. So go to Settings, go to Add underneath Plugin Repositories, and then you can type in here Esk repo, and the location of the repository is at http://qgis.eskspatial.com.au/plugins/plugins.xml. There is no authentication required, and you can enable it. Hit OK, and it will check both the default repository and then the Esk repository for available plugins. If you then go to All and search for Sketch, then you should find the digital sketch mapping tool as an option. The version number will probably be higher than this by the time you are looking at this video, and then you click the Install Plugin button. So this says plugin installed successfully, and so then we can hit Close. The plugin is going to initially appear as a button in one of the toolbars across the top. If you use the bar on the left-hand side, you can move the plugin button to somewhere that you're comfortable with. If you hit this button, then you're going to enable the digital sketch mapping tool, which can appear in the wrong place to begin with. You can drag it around to wherever you want, but the tool is designed to be docked to the right-hand side, and to do that, you use the mouse pointer to move it close to the right-hand side, let go of the mouse pointer, and it becomes maximized to the right, and other toolbars like the processing tool for the right hand side appear as tabs down the bottom here. So the digital sketch mapping tool, the way in which you get started is to hit this settings button, and then you click this, which is for creating a new project. It lets you know that if you've got an existing project, it's going to get cleared out. You can hit confirm. We're going to say demo for the sketch name, and then you need to specify a file location where the sketches are going to get saved to. So set this up in Windows Explorer before you get into here, and we can go to sketch, demo, and say select folder. So that's where the files are going to get saved. Now, the tool is intended and designed to be used in an offline environment inside an aircraft. That means that any base maps, any layers that you want to have as companions to your sketch data set so that you can get a feel for where you are in space, they need to be on the hard drive of the device you plan on going up in the aircraft with. So they'll need to be added to this project. In our case, we have an internet connection here where I'm doing the demo, and I don't have a comparative base map. So we're going to tick this button to add the being imagery as part of the project as well, which just gives us a satellite image to have as a base whilst we're doing this demo. This is the color for the polygons that you'll be sketching. You can put in a surveyor name as well to be saved against all sketch records. This is for the keypad buttons if they are the wrong height or shape or font or color. We can go into more details with that later. These are the auto update interval for the GPS location, and also you have the opportunity to tick this button which says to rotate and recenter the map every time that the user hits the done button, and we'll go into more details on that later too. Down the bottom, this is crucial to do before you get started, is to select which keypad categories you want to have shown on the right-hand side to use as attributions against your sketches. Clicking on one of these allows you to see each of the elements that will be added to the map as part of that keypad category. You also have the opportunity to customize the color of those keypad buttons, edit the names of them, reorder them, and all that, and also add new categories or add new elements to each of those categories. We're going to go through and add some of these entries so that we've got something to hit against our sketches. So once all that's done, you can hit the apply button, and what's going to happen is a new set of layers, a points layer, a lines layer, and a polygons layer are going to get created and saved in that project directory that you specified. And you can see here that we've also got the Bing satellite imagery loaded up. By default, we are in pan mode, and this behavior is going to be the same whether you're using a mouse or using a stylus. To begin with, you'll be panning around the map, finding the location that you're going to be doing the sketches in. And we do have buttons across the top right here, and they've been optimized for use with a stylus whilst airborne. This zoom in button allows you, obviously, with a single tap to zoom in closer. We've also got, we've got zoom in and zoom out. And once we get close enough, we can start demoing the actual sketch tools. We'll talk about the sketch tools first, and then we can also talk about the separate GPS plugin after that. So then one of the common ways in which people perform sketches whilst assessing an area is by using line work. So you can click this line button and then start sketching out an area like this. And then once that sketch is completed, the attributes or the code is specified by tapping one or more of these buttons. And once done, you hit the done button and that sketch will get saved. You'll see the color change slightly on the sketch to show that it's completed, and also a label of the code gets added to that sketch as well. As soon as you hit the done button, it's ready for another sketch to occur. And the normal behavior is for the sketch to be done first, and then for the codes to be specified. If you make a mistake while sketching, this bin button in the bottom right corner will actually take away the sketch that you've done, giving you an opportunity to redo the sketch. So that's lines. There's also the opportunity of specifying particular point locations for identification of things like weeds or important trees. So they can be clicked like that. And each of these points that gets clicked will get saved to a single entry in the data set, but they all get labeled individually. The saving for these occurs either when you change to a different tool, or you can also hit the Save Layers and Pan button in order to switch from sketching to panning around the map. However, in a lot of cases, you're going to want the panning around to occur automatically based on your GPS location. And once you've got the GPS enabled, you can hit this button, which will pan and rotate the map based on the location of your GPS and the direction in which you're heading in, so that the map is showing you what's in front of you based on your direction of travel. So the other tool type is the polygon feature. You press and hold on the map to draw a shape, and then you'll specify a particular set of buttons in order to determine the code for that polygon region. There's also opportunity to select something that's been entered previously and delete it. So again, we can go to this button, which allows for selection. We click on the thing which we want to have deleted, in this case the line work, and then hit the delete button down here. It will ask for confirmation, and then this entry is deleted. If we wanted to add a large number of codes and they're going to fall off the bottom of the screen, we have the opportunity to change the height of the buttons, squeeze them up a little bit, say 18. When we hit apply, the buttons are now squeezed up vertically so that we can have more options available all at once. It's also possible to change the width and obviously change the color or the font size on these as well. It's also possible to change the sketch color. So within here, we can change this to say pink. And then our new sketch will be, once we've set the code, in the new color. It's also possible with the Sketch tool to set a particular custom code. So you can draw an area and then type whatever you like into this box, or alternatively, you can leave the box blank, and that will be valid as well. To do with the GPS, there is a GPS information panel. To get to that, you should right-click on a toolbar area, and then make sure that the GPS information panel is ticked. It might be in the same location as the layers control, in which case it will be a tab across here. This is not a tool developed by Esk. This is a tool that's a plugin that's built into QGIS. So we didn't customize any of these parts of it. The GPS tool has got a lot of features though that could be useful within this sketch context. So for example, there's the showing the location marker on the map. There is showing a bearing line, so once you start heading in a particular direction, you can see a line on the map of which direction you're heading in, and you can have the whole map rotate to match the direction that you're heading in as well, and have that occur automatically. We can customize recentering, so for example, the map can automatically be recentered when the GPS point starts heading off the viewable map. There's also the ability to add tracked vertices, automatically save them, and specify a location for those tracked vertices to be as well. Now we don't have a proper GPS connected, but what we can do is connect to a dummy one. The way you're going to do that, we won't go into strong detail here, but you need to, for example, if it's a Bluetooth device, you need to connect your Bluetooth GPS to your device, and then specify its port and its other details within here. Or you can try QGIS's auto detect functionality to see if it can find your GPS without having to do any specifications. If we hit the connect button here, it's going to pan us to the location that I'm currently in. You can see that it's showing a latitude and a longitude. And if we specify a log2 package and say, choose this package, then we can start saving into that package the trace of the GPS. Our recommendation though is to actually specify a separate package that's not the same as the one where the sketches are occurring, so that there's no conflict within that file. We're going to disconnect the GPS now, and what we're going to do is we're going to zoom back to our lines and other layers. All of this data that we're logging in here is stored, and you can see the attributes against them by right-clicking on one of these entries and saying Open Attribute Table, which allows us to see each of these. So if we click on one of these, then we're going to have that highlighted on the map as well. If you want to export the points, for example, or the lines to a shapefile, you can right-click and say Export, Save Features As, and then there's a dialog here which allows you to pick, for example, shapefiles or KMLs or other file formats. Keep in mind that the location that they're saved in is a GIA package that allows for points, lines, and polygons to all be stored in the same place, whereas shapefiles, for example, just allow one type of feature. So if you want to save your polygons and your lines and your points to shapefiles, you'll need to export them to 3 separate files. Now, what happens when you're done for the day, or when you need to come back to the same layers later? Well, what you can do is you can save the project using the normal project saving in QGIS. So we're going to go Project Save As. We're going to go to the demo directory and we're going to say demo project here. That gets saved. And so now if we close and then reopen it, because the QGIS Sketch tool is enabled at the moment, it has detected the points, lines, and polygons, and you can confirm that this is the data that you want to keep on working with. And so this allows you to pick up from where you left off and start sketching again. And that's it. Thank you so much for your attention, and please get in touch with either your local representative or Esk Spatial if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.